My name is Fraser.
My name is Mark.
And we are the hosts of the geekiest show alive. To the outside world, we're ordinary geeks.
But in the Fab International Studios, we talk comics and find other geeks just like us. This is Geek of the Week.
It's trade-off. Mixing it up. Now, as many of you will know, if you've been listening for about the past 2 weeks, unfortunately we've not had time for trade-off, which is why this time we've jammed it in. We feel a bit bad for Invincible. We said we were going to talk about it for 2 weeks.
And we haven't.
We haven't. So yeah.
There's just been so much good news and so much stuff to talk about that we run out. An hour just doesn't seem like enough.
I know. Never
and we can talk.
Enough. Never. So, this is Trade-Off. To basically explain the show, Mark and I...
Smooth.
Getting so good at that.
You are, well done.
Be proud. Have very different tastes when it comes to comic books. I'm sort of family friendly, childlike, Marvel, DC, Archie, IDW. Yeah, pretty childish. Where Mark's more adult, not in a not safe for work kind of way, just sort of like more gritty, more, isn't the world...
Quite a lot of the books I like aren't safe for work as well.
Isn't the world a bit bad, in a way? More image and stuff like that. So
horror and sci-fi is more my vibe.
Exactly. So basically, what trade-off is we give each other a trade week by week. So 1 week I'll give him a trade, more childlike, more innocent, more sort of like, oh come on, let's all be happy, and he'll give me a trade that just makes me reflect on the world and feel a bit sad sometimes. Just not gonna lie. But one big thing was that Mark used to always insult me saying, oh, you never read anything adult, you never read anything image. And my one go-to was that I read Invincible, so I do technically read image. So
it is
this
published
week,
by Image.
I gave Mark Invincible. Well, it was supposed to be two months.
Quite a while ago you gave me Invincible.
But yeah, so... It's Invincible this week by Image. Robert Kirkman, guy who did Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the book?
I'll be honest, I expected it to be good because it was Robert Kirkman, and I like Outcast, I like Walking Dead. They're both brilliant. They're both two favourites of mine. That I don't get the singles, but I always buy the trades off.
Yes.
And trade-off with Invincible was a pleasant surprise. It was a fun and clever take on superheroes. It was very postmodern, and I liked that.
Yeah. There's
I liked how his
parody
dad.
with it.
Yeah, it was gentle parody, not too.
Yeah, in your face. With
yeah, and I loved how his dad was blasé, not jaded, but it's almost like he's settled in his job. You know, like when you've had a job for a few years and you're good at it, and you don't love it anymore, but you don't hate it. You're just settled in your job. You've got it pays the bills. It's your life. You're settled, and everything is good. His dad's like that, and what a fun take that is, and it makes being a superhero like being.
Yeah, just a regular
baker
job. It's just a regular...
Or working in Tesco.
And it runs in the family. It's like... it's like he's going into the family business.
The amount of teachers I know that have that their kids have become teachers, it's amazing.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
It's a nice nod to modern life.
And there was nods to like cool names as well, like Grayson, obviously with Dick Grayson, which is why I sort of like that was my gateway into Invincible, was obviously because the art is very similar to Spider-Man and stuff like that.
It is.
So I went Spider-Man, Dick Grayson, and then like my first Image thing was Invincible, obviously because it's very similar to the two. But it introduces people who were used to reading comic books into the Image of grit and stuff like that, because I don't know if Volume 1 so much, but the more and more you read, it does get very more gritty, and the stuff you see there, which is very graphic and not what you usually see in the superhero stuff.
Not so much in Volume 1, though.
I think it might be in it's either Volume 1 or Volume 2. They do a lot. They parody the Justice League, which is very funny. They all just it didn't go too well for them. They're literally like, oh, I'm this all powerful, and they talk about there's literally like a guy from Mars and stuff like that, and yeah, they get done in pretty quickly and stuff.
The parody is clever. It's not so...
Look at this. This is clear.
It's not so parodical, is that the word?
It's not like Captain USA.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's done really well, and it's done with real feeling. It establishes the characters. I love his mum. Like I say, I love his dad.
That's brilliant.
It's done. There is gentle parody in there, but I like how you do genuinely get invested in the characters as well. They're all interesting, and like I say, his mum's brilliant. Mum's brilliant, and it made me smile a lot. I don't know. The fact that you say it gets darker kind of disappoints me a little bit.
No, not darker as in like what you expect. It's just like it's still like the whimsical stories and stuff like that. It's just the fights and stuff like that are more not darker but more gritty and stuff like than you'd expect in a regular comic. You know when you like a comic,
so like
a hero's down and like you don't really see much. Like in this, you see their physical like tolls it takes on being a superhero and getting beat up quite a bit. It's more like Scott Pilgrim and stuff like that, and those sort of things where it's like Kick-Ass, where they'll show they'll show more damage than actual. It's less. Yeah, it's not like, oh my goodness, the world's terrible. Why am I even a superhero? Like it's more that way, not too dark. But yeah. Oh mate, no, I'm glad you like it. Like like I say, for the longest time, this was my Image sort of like go-to. And it's like, oh yeah, I read Image, I read Invincible.
Your Image cheat.
Yeah, and now it's like it's over. And when it ended, I was like,
what's the reason for it ending? Was it just that the storyline finished?
They did 24 trades.
It's 144 issues I read.
Yeah, literally, it's just the story. Like Robert Kirkman was like, I mean, I'm done.
Fair enough.
I think that's the thing with Image as well. Like their stories actually end, whereas like Marvel's just keep going. DC's they reboot their universe. Like Image is just like, no, I'm just done. I've got another project that I'm doing. It's probably like, I should probably do more Walking Dead, shouldn't I? With the because the TV shows
caught up.
He was probably like writing some Invincible and then realised, oh my goodness, where are they at? Sorry, Invincible. Let me get on the Walking Dead. I need to write some ideas down.
Have you watched the motion comic? I know there's a motion comic.
No.
I like motion comics. I wasn't sure about it, but then I watched the Spider-Woman one. It was on Netflix a while ago, and it was exceptional.
Yeah.
So I would be interested in the motion comic of this as well.
The Watchmen one's pretty cool as well. Motion comics.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, I remember like my mate had Watchmen, and so I'd read that, and then whenever he didn't realise I was reading it, and then whenever he wasn't reading it, I'd just watch the finger comic and pretend that's why I knew so much about what was going on.
But that's the thing about a motion comic is it is just the comic, but a bit movie on the screen, which
it's
is
sort of
nice.
like an in-between adaptation of it.
Yeah, and I love that. I would like to watch the motion comic of Invincible. I think that'd be fun.
There was talks about Invincible getting a movie and stuff like that, which I'd be really down for, like a TV series. I'd be really into that. I remember ages ago, this is another reason why I got into Invincible, was Drake Bell from Drake and Josh fame. He also voiced, to bring it back to comics, he voices the Ultimate Spider-Man, or did anyway. And he was talking about one hero he really wanted to be was Invincible, and I was like, oh, who's this Invincible? I mean, if Drake Bell's talking about it and he's sort of like Spider-Man, I should check this out. And then I looked and I was like, okay. And then here you go, 24 volumes later, and I'm like recommending it.
Have you got all of the volumes?
Yeah.
Good grief, that's a collection, mate.
It is, it's a big shit.
I might borrow them one at a time. I don't want 24 in one go.
A bit safer, to be fair. Yeah, I'd save yourself. Which is really weird, because sometimes with these trade-offs it's interesting, especially when it's a long series, and when we talk about Ultimate Spider-Man, we're going to be like this, because I forget what's in each volume, and I don't want to say too many spoilers, and like the first trade is always sort of a good introduction, but then more happens afterwards, and the more that happens afterwards is sort of like the idea that stays in your head. Like the first trade always sets the tone, and then afterwards it's like that's when the big impactful things happen. So with Invincible and Ultimate Spider-Man, I'm thinking of these big impactful things, then I'm like, I don't know if that's in the first volume though, so I won't talk about that to Mark yet. But yeah, no, glad we had time to talk about Invincible then. I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it if you guys want to check it out. We've got a cool little Amazon affiliated link now. So if you get it on Amazon, we get a bit of a kickback. It's just a cool way of supporting the show by doing nothing at all, literally just buying the trade like you would.
Brilliant.
So
Thank you.
We'll get that below. Wherever you find this, if you find this on our Mixcloud, if you find it on our Tumblr, Facebook, wherever, YouTube.
Have we got a Tumblr?
We do have a Tumblr.
Good grief.
It's literally just to put all the stuff there. It's literally just put the episodes in YouTube's on. It's just another market. It's not like
okay.
I'm not turning into a Tumblr girl on you. Don't you worry.
Please don't. Inspirational
quotes of the day.
That's
how we're going to start every show. It's just me with inspirational quotes. But that's it. That's Trade Off. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out the trade. Or trades. If you want to go all 24 straight away. Just like, yeah, this is how I'm going into it. I'm going all in on this. But yeah, definitely recommend the first one. And then if you like it, there are 23 more for you to go to.
Thanks for listening to Geek of the Week. Be sure to tune in next week. Same geek time, same geek channel.
And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at GOTW Radio on Twitter. Search for Geek of the Week Radio Show on Facebook. And to listen again, it's www.mixcloud.com/Geek of the Week Radio Show.